question. Alrighty, are we up? Yep, we are at 5:30. Got it. Okay, good morning. And let's get through some housekeeping things right now. You will need note-taking materials, physical or virtual. You will need a second device, and that device needs to go to theturnarounddoctor.com so that you can see the 74 principles of world leadership. And it's moving slow today. Okay, I'm there. And so first thing we're going to do is go ahead and take 3 deep cleansing breaths. As I said, good morning. I am Dr. Donald Thomas-Rodgers, daughter of Leslie Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Okay, I am having a PTSD morning. So I am going to do my best to get through this live, but I waited. I have tried to apply for disability 3 times, been denied all 3 times. Finally got representation from a lawyer, and now I'm going through that process. And 2 days ago, I had to go and get my hearing done because that's the first step that you need. And I sat in that same apparatus that they do to determine if you have hearing loss. And all of that has come up, and it is coming up, and it keeps coming up and coming up and coming up. So I'm gonna do my best this morning. But it was a very tumultuous, tough ass 5.5 fucking years. Every goddamn day was an obstacle. There wasn't a good day in 5.5 years. And I buried it because they said, ain't shit wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. They said nothing was wrong with the shit that happened while I was there. When I got out, they said wasn't nothing wrong, but it's a bunch of shit wrong. And because you can't see it other than my hand, you keep telling me ain't shit wrong with me. And now I gotta say everything that's wrong, everything that wasn't wrong, and now all the shit that is wrong, that's still wrong, still wrong, still wrong. And it started 2 days ago and it hasn't stopped. It's not going anywhere. One of my classmates from ROTC, I looked him up the other day, and this motherfucker is a fucking major general in the goddamn army because he got to go infantry. Nobody told him you can't go infantry. They let him do every fucking thing he wanted to do, and he got to do everything he wanted to do. And from the beginning, the motherfuckers told me I can't. You can't go infantry. You can't go to Ranger School. You can't. You can't. And they made the shit hard as fucking hell for me every goddamn day. And now I got to bring that shit back up and tell people. I have told myself for 24 fucking years, ain't nothing wrong with me. And there is so much wrong. My white blood cell count is under 1,000. I am severely anemic. I got nerve damage in my hand, in my shoulders, in my knees. I can't run anymore. I got PTSD. I was sexually assaulted. And I got to say, none of that shit happened. And watch this motherfucker be promoted to a major goddamn general. A major general. He is running Fort Riley. We were in the same ROTC class, and he over here smiling and shit. And I'm being told nothing was wrong, nothing happened, you good, all this other bullshit, and none of it was true. None of this shit was true. I was harassed, I was hazed, I was assaulted, and I still had to perform. I didn't get 1 box when I deserved them, so another fucking man could get promoted. I got the leftovers and had to make do with that shit and said, hey, that's what you get. That's what the fuck you get. And I gotta bring it all up now. All of it. All of it. And people want to say you didn't fucking deploy. Bitch, you wasn't there. You wasn't there. You have no idea what African American women had to go through, still going through in the 90s, in the early 2000s as an officer. You have no idea what it took. And they just say, oh, you were officer, you're fine. Ain't shit wrong with you. Ain't shit wrong with you. Ain't shit. It's a lot wrong. And it's not like I'm about to go pop off and go blow some shit up. I'm not about to do that. I was treated unfairly from the beginning. From the beginning, and ignored. And every time I brought it to somebody's attention, oh no, that's just how it is. You know, that's just how it is. You being emotional. No. There's no way I should have had to date a rock Korean major so we could have training land in fucking Korea. That was wrong. That was wrong. I shouldn't have had to eat dinner with him. I shouldn't have had to talk on the phone to him. I shouldn't have had to let him come visit at the company. I shouldn't have had to do that shit so we could have some training land. That shit was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. I shouldn't have had to fear for my life because they wanted me to be the 101st MP Division Company Commander, but I knew somebody was going to take my ass out. How? I'm trying to protect and serve, and I ain't even got nobody protecting and serving me. That shit is wrong. 100%, and I don't give a fuck now. I don't, because it came up. It came up, and it's up, and it's up, and it's just going to be here. And I'm giving myself permission because I'm not going to act like I'm okay this morning. I'm not. We're going to get through, remove obstacles, but now the shit is up. It's up and it's got to come up. And the ear lady was just looking at me and she said, you got to go in this machine. I said, what? I thought I was good. I came out, no, looking at me like, what's wrong? I'm like, I had to go in the hearing machine. The same one they have at the fucking army. All that shit came up. All of it. I was in basic training. One of the drill sergeants died after a fucking run. Died. And we still had to finish. We still had to finish basic training. The run, the fucking Desert Storm broke off. I'm in high school and the fucking war broke out and I'm going to drill and the unit get activated. I'm like, shit, am I going to war or am I going to prom? All that's in there. And I'm trying to make it seem like, oh, because they said just dismiss it, just dismiss it. No, I'm not. I ain't dismissing shit. No fucking more. And then it's like, oh, you weak. If you apply for disability, you weak. If you say something was wrong, it's something wrong with you. This that same shit that fucking gaslighting ass family of mine did. No. I wasn't supposed to. None of that shit was supposed to take place. None of that was supposed to take place. And then to tell me I'm fine. How? Look at my hand. I can't do this. This is how your hand's supposed to look. Ain't nothing wrong with my hand. Okay, cool. Got it. Well, all this shit getting ready to come up and woe be unto everybody because this shit in there that's fucking buried and I don't even know what the fuck is it. 5.5 years is a long time. That's fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of days. It's like 1,700 some days, almost 2,000 days. So it's there. And I just need to say that so in case it seems like I'm off, I am off. I am, because now it has to come up. It has to. All of it. Got to document all of it. Every last bit of it. Because you shut your fucking mouth back in the 90s. You don't say shit. Be quiet. You might get a bad OER if you say some shit. They might give you a BCD, which is a bad conduct discharge. So you just got to take that shit. Well, fuck that in 2025. Fuck that shit. I'm telling every fucking thing. And I don't give a fuck who get in trouble at this fucking point. I don't fucking care. Ain't nobody fucking safe. I wouldn't fucking say what the fuck I'm doing fucking protecting them motherfuckers for. Why? Why would I? Why? Protect them for what? They didn't fucking protect me. So no, I got motherfucking receipts. I got photos. I got receipts. We gonna do something about this. So this shit is fucking happening. And I didn't want it to because I didn't know what the fuck was underneath there. But hey, let it all come up. Let it all come up. He a fucking major general, and my motherfucking ass is being told didn't shit happen. Take one for the team. We need the training land. The LT, you ain't got to go off a post with him, but we need you to go ahead. He likes you, and he got a bunch of training land. So just talk to him. Talk on the phone to him. Whole fucking company then pimped my ass out for some fucking training land for a Republic of Korea Army major. Not even a U.S. Army major. This motherfucker's in the Korean Army. Go ahead. Oh, and this is when my stepfather pervy ass was in the middle of his sexual assaults. So it's happening in my personal life and my professional life. And I'm just supposed to keep fucking going on like ain't nothing wrong. Absolutely, like ain't shit. But that's why by the time I got back from Korea, this motherfucker showed up. I said, oh, hell no. Absolutely not. Just, this is how, if it was take one for the team back then, it's like, but we need to take showers. So LT, can you go and ask Major Kim, can we go take some showers and then all this other shit? And nobody thought that shit was wrong. They thought the shit was funny. Yeah, it's Major Kim on the phone for you, Lieutenant Thomas. Then showed up. Gonna go to my company commander like he was my dad. Say, I'm here to see Lieutenant Thomas. And they come get me, Major Kim over there for you. Major Kim over there. And my motherfucking company commander leave me in the office with the motherfucker and close the door. Bitch ass. And he had a fucking daughter. I guarantee you his daughter old now. If somebody asked his daughter to do that shit, he'd be ready to go fucking battle rattle somebody. Nobody thought it was a fucking problem. Not one person thought that shit was wrong. But we need the training land. What about me? I gotta be in this room with this pervy motherfucker. And y'all just gonna leave me here. The fuck? Lieutenant Thomas. Okay. So anyway, I'm calling all my motherfucking ancestors back. And it ain't safe for no fucking body. The receipts are coming. Y'all see me on the fucking news, you heard it here first. I'm not. Nobody is fucking safe. The harassment, the fucking racial injustices, and every fucking thing else that took fucking place in the name of be all that you can be in the motherfucking army. I tried. It was just too many motherfucking obstacles. I got out because I wasn't safe no more. I feared for my motherfucking life. That's why I got out. There was, you're going to be the 101st. I'm like, you going to jump me the line ahead of 3 other motherfuckers that want the 101st. And you think it ain't going to be a training accident with friendly fire. Fuck y'all. I'm out of this shit. Enough is enough. I'm not about to die on fucking U.S. soil because of some other motherfuckers is jealous. Absolutely not. So today we're talking about remove obstacles. I had to remove a bunch of motherfucking obstacles, and apparently some more are getting ready to show up. So it is what it fucking is. I received that. It's still standing, still strong. Still standing, still strong. Still optimistic and believing that people can change. Even them ignorant ass motherfuckers. Neurogenesis. It's the creation of new neural pathways. Neuroplasticity is the creation. Neurogenesis is the creation of new neurons. Neuroplasticity is the creation of new neural pathways, and neuropability is taking those new neural pathways and wiring your brain to the theory of personal accountability and the 74 principles of real leadership so that you can learn how to hold yourself personally accountable on a daily basis. How you do that is through the executive function of your brain. You're going to be using the frontal lobe today, and that is the CEO of the brain. So let's use it today. Gotta love ChatGTP because it is better than me searching on Google because it gives me my detailed searches of what I need. So it takes me less time to research the information that I have for you. So the definition of remove is to, now I'm having a fucking hot flash. Remove, to eliminate or get rid of. That's what the fuck I'm doing with all this shit from the Army from January of 1996 to 2001, April 11th. Removing these obstacles to get or to eliminate or get rid of. Now, it's interesting that they had several different definitions of obstacles. And when I wrote the book, I had a different mindset of obstacles. But today we're going to be talking about removing mental obstacles. So the obstacle definition is things that block or hinder progress, movement, or achievement. Things that block or hinder progress, movement, or achievement. That's what an obstacle is. The next one is something that makes it difficult to do something. Something that makes it difficult to do something. I want to go in the Army. I want to go infantry. They tell me, no, you got to be an MP or air defense artillery. You is a girl and you can't go doggone infantry. You can now. And there's a young lady who went 11 Bravo in about 2017 because it wasn't even open, but now it is. And Virginia, you sent me that video of that young lady, her and her partner that made it through Ranger training. It was like that for me back then, but worse. Because, yeah, definitely. You had fucking Storm and Norman Schwarzkopf in charge of the Army at that time. So, definitely terrible. Something that makes it difficult to do something. The next one is, it can be physical, like a barrier or a path, or it can be mental / emotional, like fear or doubt. So, I'm going to summarize that again. Obstacles. They're things that block or hinder progress, movement, or achievement. And it's something that makes it difficult to do something. It can be physical, like a barrier or a path, or it can be mental or emotional, like fear or doubt. So why is it difficult to remove mental obstacles? So the obstacles that we're talking about today are the mental obstacles. And the reason why we're talking about the mental obstacles is because we're talking about the brain. And when you remove the mental obstacles, you have the mental strength to remove the physical obstacles. So Nola is extremely physically strong now, but it's the direct result of her doing the mental work. If she was not doing the mental real leader work, there's no way that she would be able to pick up the things, move the things, solve the physical problems that she has on a day-to-day basis in her business. So it is mental first. It starts in the mind. So we are focused on mental obstacles. So why is it difficult to remove mental obstacles? Because they often come from deep within your beliefs, emotions, feelings, and past experiences. So because they often come from deep within your beliefs, your emotions slash feelings, and your past experiences. So that's why it's difficult to remove those obstacles. So in my case, when I saw the hearing machine, I had to switch and go into Captain Thomas mode because that's how you do what you got to do. And then as soon as I got out of the machine, the tears came rolling down. I'm like, I didn't even know this was in here. Okay, great. And then we still had to go do appointments that day as well. So what happens is it's underneath there. You don't realize it. Go do what you need to do, but it's still there. So you got to do something about it. So that's where the feelings and the emotions and past experiences come from. Number one, and this is there are for Kevin, there are 5 of these. What is the different? Why is it difficult to remove mental obstacles? And there are 5 of them. Number one is deep rooted beliefs. So mental obstacles like fear, self doubt, or limiting beliefs are often built over time and become part of how you see yourself or the world. I'm going to say that again. Deep rooted beliefs. They are mental obstacles like fear, self doubt, or limiting beliefs are often built over time and become part of how you see yourself or the world. And I apologize, I'm gonna put this on mute, but because of my tears, I gotta blow my nose again. So hand sanitizer. Okay, got it. So there are some limiting beliefs that you have. And right now, go ahead and type in a limiting belief that you had and now you don't have, or that you still have. A limiting belief. This is going to be interesting on the replay. Limiting belief, I'm too old to travel the world. I didn't think I could be organized, get a driver's license, or work with glass. Those are all true. And ooh, those were some tough initial months. Yeah, the glass was the one that resonates the most with me. Is I'm getting PTSD from that. Right, and learn those plays in football and basketball as well. And Sabrina is typing, so I will wait. I'm trying to think of my limited beliefs. Nola, do you have one for me off the top of your head? Limited beliefs don't have enough time. It's from my procrastination. Let me think. Um, I would say that people weren't going to hold themselves personally accountable. So I could, as long as I was working for other organizations and everything, then I could do that thing. But to have people, oh, reading, that's a good one. But to have people believe in what I'm talking about, this thing that I created myself, thinking that it couldn't have any traction and nobody would pay attention to it and that's from my sister growing up saying that ain't shit, that ain't shit, that ain't shit. So if you hear that enough, then you think your stuff ain't shit, and then you go start building everybody else's stuff because you think yours ain't shit. Okay. Kevin, didn't think I could build a business to employ others. Right. So we both just said the similar things. All right. Especially if you spend time in corporate America, you definitely think you don't have. Yes, reading for me. That's correct. Limited, but that one is right up there. I never thought I'd be able to read the books that I'm currently reading. Not at all. All right. Number 2 is fear of change. Fear of change. The mind naturally resists change. Even if a mental block is harmful, it's still familiar, and the unknown can be scary. And I've said that before. That comfort zone may suck like nobody's business, but at least you know what it is, right? So you're going to stay there in that awful, horrible situation because it is familiar. And that unknown is scary, even if it can be freeing. So I tried to leave my corporate job from hell. The first year I was there, it took me 9 years to finally leave. And it was because I was in the hospital on Memorial Day weekend in 2010, literally with portable oxygen EKG, trying to find somebody to pick Nola up. And at that point, I was like, it's time to go. It's fucking chips on the truck. Like, you got panic attacks now from snacks. You got to leave, okay? Don't matter what's out there. It's better than what's in here because you're going to die. They trying to drug you, put you on Percocet or something to help with your panic attacks. That's not happening. Or you going to leave. Okay, cool, I'm out. And I knew that I potentially was going to have to pay $25,000 for my move, and I still left because I'm like, I need to be here for this person who didn't ask to come here. So fuck y'all and all of that. I'm leaving. But fear of change will definitely keep you stuck because you're like, I know this, but I know what this is. So for you, is there something that fear of change is causing you to have a mental block? That was my mental block, that I stayed 8 years longer than I needed to at Frito-Lay. I'll say 7 because Nola was already born. I had a fear block of talking about my feelings. Yes, you did. Regina, is there a question? I blinked. Yes, the question is, what fear of change did you have? A limiting belief that you had from a fear of change. So you weren't going to change even though it was bad for you. You still weren't going to change because the fear of change was unknown and scary. So what was something that you stayed because you're like, I'm not changing this even though this sucks because I don't know what else is out there. So the question is, the mind naturally resists change. Even if there was a mental block that was harmful, you still stayed with it because it was familiar. So you didn't change because the change was scary, even though what you were dealing with was harmful. And Nola's response was talking about her feelings. So even though all those feelings were bogged up inside of her, she didn't want to change to talk about them because that was scarier than just keeping them blocked in. Your fear of change was related to divorcing. I can relate to that. Especially for the amount of time that you were married. Mine was shorter, but still, nevertheless. I didn't want to be a statistic. African American mother, single parent, divorced. And I said, you're going to be an unhappily married woman in a dysfunctional marriage. So pick your statistic, lady. Pick your statistic. We're all somebody's statistic. Good morning, Linda. Kevin, leaving corporate America, I sat my ass on that job and watched myself lose money simply by coming to work. that, I understand that, but the way you worded it, Kevin, got it. All right. Number 3, emotional baggage. So, past failures, traumas, or negative experiences can create emotional scars that act as invisible barriers. I'll say that again. Past failures, traumas, or negative experiences can create emotional scars that act as invisible barriers. Here I am having that same experience, all of that nice, amazing 5.5 years of military experience is definitely failure, trauma, and negative experiences that have created these physical and emotional scars that are there stopping me from saying I'm disabled. And because disabled, I'm like, but I signed up to go to the military. So how is this now I'm saying it? Because it just gave the appearance of weak. That's why I was like, no, I'm good. And then it kept getting denied. And I'm like, I didn't even get to the first step. It's like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to just move on. Can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. But no, it is. It's very bad. And acceptance is the first step in any 12-step program. So, yes, emotional baggage. Number 4, lack of self awareness. Sometimes you don't even realize a mental obstacle exists until you're stuck or challenged. Sometimes you don't even realize a mental obstacle exists until you are stuck or challenged. So, what is a mental obstacle that you weren't aware of until you became stuck or challenged? And then you was like, oh, this is an obstacle. this is this is stopping me. I am stuck. This is challenging for me. And I'm currently experiencing that. A lack of self-awareness. And Nola has been saying it for years. And people have said it. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Now I'm like, nope. Not at all. And it's not that. And then plus I think for me, what I was saying was that if I say something about it, then that means it was true. And that the whole victimize the victim thing. Now I'm looking like some whiny little sniveling punk out here. Can't take it. Can't take the heat. Get out the kitchen. But nope. Those things should not have taken place. That was not part of it when I put my hand up and said the oath of office. Those were not in the terms and conditions. That was not part of it. When I said our bare faith of truth, what is it? I take this oath without mental reservations or purpose of evasions, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. Something like that. Okay, my lack of effective communication, like cutting people off or work off in the middle of people's talking or ignoring people when they talk, so that and listening. Yes. And Sabrina says, initially, I did not know how to eat healthy, and until I learned, I thought I was fine. Yep, I would agree with that, especially if you maintain a healthy weight. You had no idea what that food was doing to the inside of your body. I understand that completely. I mean, obviously, if you're overweight, then you would say it. And there are some people who say, and walk off. Yep, you will do that as well. So I understand both of those. You were fixing a typo. Yes, ma'am. I know. Shut off acknowledging my feelings for years because it was too painful, stuffed them, and depended on myself. I was unapproachable. Kevin had to take a call. No to the whole, not to the whole class. I'll catch the next question. Okay. Oh, not to hold the class. Got it. Okay. Number 5 is negative self talk. Your inner voice can reinforce doubts and fears, making it harder to move forward. Negative self-talk. Your inner voice can reinforce doubts and fears, making it harder to move forward. So what's something that your negative self-talk stopped you from doing? Stopped you from moving forward? So it said, nah, you can't do that. You know that, you a chicken shit. What you trying to do? Clearly, my inner voice told me, don't get this stuff handled with the military. Working out some of my character defects sooner. I will say again that the negative self-talk coming from my single woman, you can't buy a house and maintain it. Yep, I can understand that too. Again, mine would be doing any of my stuff because of my sister saying, "You that ain't shit, that ain't shit, that ain't shit," and then other people questioning, "Do I know what I'm doing? Do I know what I'm talking about? I'm not an expert in that. Who am I to be talking about anything that I'm talking about?" Because in theory, there was always somebody else that was smarter or knew more. Anyway, yeah, I sent Kevin a video the other day about somebody talking about the brain. And showed Nova another video I found up here. He was talking about super awareness. She wouldn't listen to it. But yeah, just thinking that because I'm not the nerd, even with my glasses on, I still don't have the nerd ability to be able to talk about what I'm talking about and all of the who do I think I am, to have my own theory of personal accountability, and I'm not attached to a university, the government, or a corporation. How dare I, with my EDD and not my PhD, be the person saying, human beings, why don't we fix this? Kevin says, because I was raised on a fully working farm, I would tell myself that I'm not supposed to be in boardroom meetings. Yes, I can understand that as well. I was not raised on a farm, but I was raised in the hood. And how dare I say I'm going to go be somebody else. All right. So again, those are the 5 obstacles to mental obstacles: deep-rooted beliefs, fear of change, emotional baggage, lack of self-awareness, and negative self-talk. If you haven't answered the poll question, go ahead and do so at this time, because I'm getting ready to reveal the results. And then we're going to move into how to overcome mental obstacles, because I'm not just going to leave you out here hanging with, yup, you got them. Bye. It's not how that goes. Okay, let's end this poll question. And what are the results? The results are, be honest, do you have any mental obstacles? 71% said yes, and 28% said no. There were 7 people who participated in the poll question. And yeah, I even have some mental obstacles, mental blocks, mental obstacles. All right, so how to overcome mental obstacles. Number 1, well, overcoming mental obstacles takes patience and intentional effort. And I will say that again. Overcoming mental obstacles takes patience and intentional effort. Do not think for 1 second that you just gonna go to, I'm sick of these mental obstacles. Ta-da! I'm good. And Sabrina says, I was the youngest in my family and was called baby. And when I became in charge, my family was like, you're in charge. And then their perceptions changed of me. Yes, I can understand that as well, being the youngest too. And it took people a while to transition to Dr. Donna. So my mother and her husband, my siblings, my aunt, It was a toss up between my mother and my aunt, who had the hardest time switching over to Dr. Donna. And I have stopped talking to people because of their refusal to call me Dr. Donna. Well, I remember when you was Dee Dee. Well, I remember when you was ugly. So no, bad Dr. Donna. Anyway, yeah. So that transition again from people, well, why you want a title? It's not a title. That's who I was. If you look at the 5th grade photo with the suit, I was Dr. Donna back then. I was becoming Dr. Donna, and that's what I am. People don't have a problem saying Dr. Dre. People don't have a problem calling Meta World Peace, because he's not, what's his name, anymore. So it's a name choice. Yes, because you ugly, right? So, it really was about their thing. Well, and I just don't understand why you want to have a title. Well, because I'm 8% Welsh. So I think me and Harry and them might be related. You put a picture, look, this is funny, y'all. When I don't have my wig on, my hair is like Harry's. And so it literally has a little edge right here. It's on the sides, a little peach fuzz, and it's empty at the top. So when I revealed that I was 8% Welsh, I said, see, look, that is my cousin on my great granddaddy's side. Anyway, got it. Gotta laugh. So my point is that people will have a difficult time making that transition when you decide to grow forward, because I remember when you, okay, cool. I remember some stuff too. Are we trading war stories? Yes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali too, right. They wanted to call him Lou Alcindor and Cassius Clay. They had a big problem with that. Yes, they had a big problem with that. And that's on them. Because after you call me Dr. Donna, I'm good. I'm easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But my non-being able to read ass had to go to school for 23 years and submit my dissertation twice. So yeah, we gonna make that. You got 3 options: Dr. D, Doc, or Dr. Donna. Works. Yes, Harry will claim me, because I tell you, I take this wig off and we look like brothers. I look more like him than what's his name? Yep. There you go. Or is it William? It's William. I'm sorry. Harry will claim me. It's William that I look like. I get them mixed up in my head, but not when I see him. I look like William when I take it off, because it's nice little missing. Anyway, yes. So I'm sure I am the Dr. D Doc. Okay. No, you can say Dr. D, Dr. Donna, or Doc. Those are the 3 things that I will answer to. Anything else, I'm not answering to, because Doc is more like, hey, it's a warmer, kinder, gentler. So I told them those were their 3 options. But like I said, my aunt and my mother had the hardest time trying to do it, and they did it, and I wouldn't respond. They would say Donna or Dee Dee, and I would not respond. I'm like, it's Dr. Donna. Is that what she want to be called? Dr. Donna? Nah, she want to be called. I'm like, yeah, remember you was at work bragging about me having a doctorate? That's the other side of it. So yes, that's what she want to be called now. I didn't get to pick my name, so now I do, and that's what we're going to do. Well, they can't call me shit now because don't nobody have my number. But when they did have access to me, those were their options. Okay, so again, going back to how to remove obstacles. Number 1, identify the obstacle. You got to identify what the mental obstacle is. You have to ask yourself, what's holding you back? Is it fear, doubt, perfectionism, past failure? What is holding me back? And so what was holding me back from pursuing getting all of the things that the Army owes me for basically changing the course and the trajectory of my life? And it was fear of what it was going to look like. I'm talking about I'm all hardcore MP, and now I'm over here like, they did this to me, and I did this, and I did this, and now I'm away, blessed, but the shit is true. It's facts. It's not lies. It's actual facts. Y'all saw me. That ain't some. I listened to some gospel music and everything, and I was like, shit, it's 5:30. I gotta click the button. But okay, here we go. This is how it is. So it happens. It was true. It took place, and now there's some compensation that needs to take place for that. Okay. And the only benefits I have taken advantage of is the VA loan for the home, and then here in Las Vegas, you get to get percentages off your registration for your vehicle, and that's it. But I don't do Rudy Tooty, Fresh and Fruity. I barely park in Veterans Parking at Lowe's, and it's on my ID, real ID, and everything. So I'm not one that's going, oh, it's Veterans Day, give me all my free shit. I don't, because part of me also felt like I'm saying that was okay. So I'm taking like compensation, you know what I'm saying, like concessions for this. And I'm like, this is making it seem like it was all right. No, but it all needs to be come to the light. So the point is that it's a fear of what I'm going to be perceived as and what I'm going to look like by saying these things that actually took place. I know, crazy as hell, but it is what it is. All right, or you can talk to someone that can assist you in understanding those hidden blocks. Yes, you are understanding. So I'm saying it again. I'm totally transparent. I'm an open book. I'm not about to act like some shit ain't some shit or like everything is berries and cherries. It's life be life. There you have it. So you can talk to someone or you can ask yourself, what is this attached to? Number 2, challenge negative thoughts. And challenge negative thoughts, the SNAP method works. So catch yourself when you're thinking negative thoughts. And I have a video for it. And what happens is you put a rubber band on your wrist and you snap it on the pulse side of your wrist every time you have a negative thought. And it sends a message to the brain, stop that shit. And then you will stop. And it works. And within 21 days, all this is going to be bruised the hell up. It might not take that much because you're like, look, but my wrist ends up being very red and it stops. The other thing that you can do to challenge your negative thoughts is you can replace the negative thoughts by pruning the neural pathways and start a new neural pathway with the facts. And so that's what I'm doing. You're going to look like a bitch. You're going to look like a punk. If you saw the pictures of me in the military, I really don't think anybody is looking at me thinking I'm a sucker, a punk, or nothing like that. Nobody's like, oh, you little mealy mouth, little docile self. That's not what's happening. But when you are in the military and you are your mission is to go handle shit, the last thing you want is the perception of being weak, especially being African American and a woman. You don't want to come across as this weak person that can't get something done. So you suck it up and drive on. And you end up, we call it motion ranger candy back then. You just pop them in and you no matter that you're going to bleed out, it's going to mess up your liver and everything else. You work hurt. You keep on going. You ain't supposed to be weak at any point. And so those negative thoughts sit there. And you have to replace them with the facts. So the fact is, my hand is messed up. The fact is, these 2 fingers, when it gets 50 degrees or lower, get frostbite in them, and I have a difficult time moving them. I have 4 leftover keloids on my hand from aerosol school. These are scars that, because it's been 24 years, you can see the light pigmentation right there, 2 on this finger, and right there from the work burns from aerosol school. And this finger, I really got to look, and I can't. That's about as close as I'm going to get it before my hand starts hurting. And those things weren't happening. Yes, so we call it Motrin Ranger candy. So, because when you go to Ranger school, anytime you go to the specialty schools, you take a bunch of Motrin before you go. So before I went to air assault school, you go to sick call, you tell the doctor that you're getting ready to go to Ranger school, airborne school, any of the physical schools, and they give you a prescription for 800 milligram Motrins. But one Motrin is 800 milligrams, and they give you an unlimited amount. And so you have to start taking it 2 weeks before you go to school, so it's in your system. So I was taking 3,200 I was taking 3,200 milligrams of Motrin a day before I got to aerosol school. So when I injured my hands, because I had so much Motrin in my system, I couldn't even feel my hands. And it was 3 weeks after I finished aerosol school that I started actually feeling the pain in my hands. But that's how you roll back then. And now it's prescription drugs. And back then, every day, 3,200 milligrams every day, 2 weeks before. And then the whole time you're in aerosol school, you're still taking 3,200 milligrams of Motrin because you're going to be in so much pain. Your muscles are going to swell all up. And then that's what you do. They say, oh, you got your Ranger candy? Yeah, I'm about to go get my prescription. I'm about to go get it so I can have my Ranger candy. And you just eat it. And you just swallow it and you keep taking it. That shit sound crazy as hell now, right? Back then, no big deal at all. You just, all the shit that you just do. And you just, and then you put, while you road marching so you won't get blisters anymore, you spray right guard deodorant on the bottom of your feet. And it closes up all the pores on your feet so your feet don't sweat. But your feet need to sweat so your body can get that sweat out of you so the sweat comes and goes somewhere else. So part of the reason why my knees are messed up is because I did so many road marches. And when I was executive officer, we used to do weight ruck marches. And so instead of me packing the ruck for what it was, I just went to the PX and bought weights. And if we needed our ruck to weigh 40 pounds, I just threw 40 pounds worth of weights in there, weigh the ruck, and boom, go, because then I could carry my ruck tighter. But I have a little bit of back problems too, because when you got 40 pounds on your back, 50 pounds on your back, you walking for miles and miles and miles. That shit fucks with your knees and your shoulders. So all of that was taking place as well. But when you're doing it, you're not thinking of the consequences later of what's going to actually happen. So anyway, you got to prune those negative thoughts to say, I'm a punk, I'm weak. It's like, no, that was a lot on your body. Your body is deteriorating because of that. And so there has to be some health care made available to you and all these other things. So challenge your negative thoughts, prune the negative thoughts, and replace them with facts. So as soon as you do that, you're back in your frontal lobe and you are replacing those emotional, non-real, amygdala hijack thoughts with actually factually based information. Number 3, break big goals into small steps. And I've said that don't do anything without a strategy. So what is it that you want to do? When you have something that you want to do and you're overwhelmed by the bigness of it, now you're like, I just can't get this done. I'm not gonna be able to get this done. So you feed it small facts. So you break everything down into small steps, and that will give you the momentum to keep going. So in my case, I just started with tinnitus, and now that appointment is over. My medical records are now in the possession of my attorney, and we will go at what they see and then go with what I have. And then I will start going to individual doctors, medical appointments, psychiatry appointments, and all of that. Put the whole thing together and then submit it to the VA. And then they will make a decision based upon that. And we will be going back and forth until, things get to a point where I'm saying, yeah, we are correct. So you want to take this on. So I'm not going to take this on and say, I'm totally messed up here, 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 here. It's one issue at a time. And that's the same thing that you need to do with whatever it is. So Regina, you want to travel. Now you can travel. You're going to take one trip. You're going to plan it. Get the flight arrangements. Make sure you have hotel accommodations, Airbnb or whatever. Then you're going to plan the next trip and plan the next trip and plan the next trip. Number 4, practice self-compassion. And that's what I haven't been doing. I have not been practice self-compassion. It's be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. So I've been being kind to myself. I got treated unfairly, and now I'm saying quit acting like a fucking punk. That's no bueno. Stop doing that, Dr. Donna, aka Captain Thomas. Give yourself some grace. And then the second one is mental obstacles often grow stronger when you're hard on yourself. Clearly. Pushing it down, saying stop acting like a punk. You bigger than that. You are a soldier. You are Captain Thomas. You are officer. You from the hood. Don't let this shit get to you. Hey, nobody should have had to endure that for 5.5 years. No person. You should have just been able to do your job and get on out of there. And not have all these manufactured obstacles just because of your ethnicity and your gender. So I'm working on this week, starting to give myself self-compassion. And then number 5 is 7 of these, visualize success. And we talked about visualize your goals as one of the 74 principles for leadership. So picture yourself overcoming the obstacles and succeeding. And I am picturing myself on the other side of this. Visualization can rewire your brain to believe in your ability to change. So I'm picturing myself and I'm wiring that new neural pathway. As I mentioned before, when you're changing the negative thoughts, I'm creating a new neural pathway that will allow me to say I'm going to get on the other side of all of this amazing 5.5 years of experience in the military. That was over 24 years ago. Number 6, seek support. Talk with someone you trust. I'm spilling my business on a live on YouTube. And then also talk to yourself, because sometimes simply voicing your thoughts makes them simpler to manage. So number 6 is seek support by talking to someone you trust, or talk to yourself, because sometimes simply voicing your thoughts makes them simpler to manage. And then finally, number 7, take action anyway. Kevin, you have the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. All that, got it, still take action. So action often weakens fear and builds courage. So me telling you all this, me acknowledging the things that took place, me filing my paperwork, sending in additional paperwork, and making this process go forward is giving me the strength to get to and through and on the other side of this. And then the last one is even small move forwards can chip away at the obstacles. So crying, writing, and not journaling, but literally documenting what took place, so that when I put my packet together, I have all that information together to send to VA. So number 7 again is take action anyway. Action often weakens fear and builds courage. And we know that I say a risk a day, the more risk you take, the less fear you take in. So this is a enormous risk for me, doing it and saying it publicly, because this is not something that I've done before. And then even small moves forwards chips away at the obstacles. So in review, how you overcome mental obstacles. Number 1 is identifying the obstacle. Number 2 is to challenge negative thoughts. Number 3 is to break the big goals into small steps. Number 4 is to practice self-compassion. Number 5 is to visualize success. Number 6 is to seek support. And number 7 is to take action anyway. So what questions do you have regarding having the mental obstacles and how to overcome these mental obstacles? One and three. Number 1 is identify the obstacle. You're going to ask yourself, what's holding you back? Is it fear, doubt, perfectionism, or past failure? And additionally, talk with someone. It can assist you in uncovering hidden blocks. And then number 3, break big goals into small steps. Overwhelm often feeds mental obstacles, and focus on one small step at a time to build momentum and confidence. Yes, you have to seek out the tools to improve. Let me know if you have those, Kevin. Man, can't say no. Choosing not to. Okay, and the final 2 questions for you today are, what have you learned today? And what have you learned about yourself today? What have you learned today? And what have you learned about yourself today? And the real leader principle today is remove obstacles. So any mental block obstacles that show up in your life today, remove them. Work towards removing them. And if you already had some, go ahead and start working on removing those. I learned that practicing self-compassion and giving yourself grace is something difficult but necessary. Yes, because of negativity bias, it makes it even harder to do. It makes it even harder to do. And I wonder, if I was not in combat support, if I wasn't an MP, I probably would have been able to get to this sooner. But because of the branch that I chose, you ain't supposed to be a punk. So if I was AG or ordnance or something, especially combat support, wouldn't have had a problem doing it. Even if I was enlisted. or stayed enlisted because I was already enlisted. I learned now I am working on my character defects. Is that what you learned about yourself or what you learned today? Because there's two different questions. Self-awareness is key in recognizing that you do need help at times. Yes, we all do. And that's why help others is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. I also learned you could be the reason you're not removing obstacles. Yes. Today, I don't know about anyone else, but today's live really demonstrated how personal accountability is. You put a period. Is that the end of it? The first one was myself. I thought, yes, the first one is clear. And self and today, Sabrina, that was for yourself and your. So Kevin, is that a period after that? I don't know about anyone else, but today's live really demonstrated how personal accountability is. If you could explain that a little bit further. And then Sabrina, and I know you might have to jump in your car to go, but the self and today, that was for both of you. You're saying yours was for yourself and today. Self-awareness is key in recognizing that you do. Okay, got it. I understand yours now, Sabrina. Kevin, if you could expound on that. Yes, I got it. You put them together. It was a compound sentence. And then Regina. Okay, you put yours together. All right. So then, Kevin, if you could just explain it, what you meant by that, a little bit more context. And that's what Nola has to work on. What we're working on it is having the context. I don't have brain fog now, so cortisol is gone. So while Kevin is typing, here's what I will say. That is why my life's mission is so important, because I don't want the A's and the Z's to be in their 50s still fucking recovering from some shit that happened in their 20s. It's just not fair. It's cruel and unusual punishment for those of us who live in the United States. That goes against our Eighth Amendment's rights. So this passing down this negativity bias and this harm and this conformity bias just because there are no neurological pathways to best. When you wake up with best every day, guess what you don't wake up to anymore? Worse. You can't do both. And we just keep passing it down and passing it down and passing it down. So much so that on the paperwork, when you're making a medical appointment, they say when you start dealing with the medical parts, you get to pick the gender of your medical provider due to sexual assault. That's on the 2025 paperwork. So that means it's still taking place. It hasn't stopped. Because it should be if you served from 1972 to 2001 and you're now filing a claim, let us know if you need a gender-specific doctor. But that's the 2025 paperwork. Nobody should still be experiencing essays or pervy nothing because of people's inability to wire their neural pathways to a positive, more personally accountable objective. And then to make people feel bad and make it seem like it's your fault. And you better not say shit. And no, you're not hurt. And no, you're not harmed, because we need people in the army and we want people there. And so if you start publicizing this, then people aren't going to sign up. No, fix this shit. And then people will sign up. I shouldn't be 24 years later just now dealing with this. That is absurd. I don't appreciate that, but it is what it is. So I will persevere. I was like, I'm getting this live done today because it's remove obstacles. And clearly this is a damn obstacle. But my objective every day is for everybody everywhere to understand. We don't have to keep living like this. All you got to do is rewire your brain and wire your brain in new neural pathways. And we in this. It ain't fucking global warming, world hunger, politicians that no. It's individual adults making the decision every day to hold themselves personally accountable, to wire their brain to neuropability, so we can all be bad mofos and focus on some bigger shit than sending stupid ass rockets up above the Earth's surface and coming back down and other dumb shit. Okay? We don't have to keep recovering from somebody else's shit. We won't have to do that. It's not necessary. I'm not a better person. I mean, I'm better because of all the other work that I've done. But imagine if none of that occurred, what I could have been doing, what I could have grown in a different way without having to overcome. You ain't got to overcome bad shit to be able to go do good shit. That's not necessary at all. This isn't part of it. I just would have learned something. That the challenge would have been learning how the brain functions. Not, well, I had to go date this man for the company that had training land. That's absurd. Regina said, today I learned that I'm really happy I joined this morning. Once again, I appreciate your vulnerability and ability to help yourself and others. Thank you. Kevin, meaning today was filled with emotions and showed that we are all working on areas in our life that needs healing. Personal accountability is personal, and it's personal for us individually. That is correct. And thank you both of you for recognizing that, to understand that I'm still a work in progress. How are you going to ask me for more content than fully explain my point? Because, Kevin, communicate effectively is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. I do it to Nola all the time. I'm doing it so you can communicate effectively. This was helping you to be able to communicate effectively. So people have context. It's so that when you're talking to other people and communicating, you give people context so that they can understand. I'm making you a better communicator. That's what's happening. And so, yes, there was the time showed up. I had to do the live. That's what I was experiencing. Yesterday wasn't as bad. When I saw that man, they made him a fucking major general, I was like, oh, okay, got it. Roger that. Roger that. Now, yeah, it's all coming up and it's all coming out. And so just as you continue to grow throughout your life, understand that my mission is clear. None of this is going to change. We are all going to continue to experience some type of unaccountable antics because there are 6.8 billion unaccountable people who are neurologically inept to hold themselves personally accountable. So my mission is huge and big and large, and I understand it, but I don't want people coming behind me to have to be recovering. I feel like I should just be able to go through menopause right now and teach people about the brain without all this other stuff taking place that should have never taken place, because people are unaccountable. The one thing that hasn't changed in this world is the human mind. That's the one thing that is exactly the same, and that's why history keeps repeating itself. That is why you can't do this because of your gender, because of your ethnicity, because of your age. Regina is being told she's too old to travel, and I'm being told none of that shit happened. Nola gets discriminated against because she's too young and she's little, or you're too dark, or you're too big, you're too tall, you're too short. Whatever it is, you're bald, you're this, and it's stupid. It's just unaccountable people with their fucking superiority complex and negativity bias attempting to not have to deal with their shit. I mean, think about it. I'm an open book and I still got stuff. So can you imagine how much stuff unaccountable people are hiding and sitting on? And that's why everything's like, no, I'm good. I'm over here. You're not good. You're not good, because I didn't teach you how to hold yourself personally accountable to dig all that shit up and get rid of your defects of character so you can actually be good. For real, for real. So you could, because good ain't best. We good over here, but y'all not best over there. It's not your best. It's a hot ass mess, and people need to start doing it. And that's why I'm not about to be hiding something or making it seem like everything is awesome and wonderful. Life is an ever-growing evolutionary process, and feelings come to lead. And if I didn't get that out, y'all would have been like, something is wrong this morning. I've been trying to push through, but feelings show up so they can leave. And it's just an indicator. I need to pursue this. People need to be held accountable, and I need to be compensated for all the things that weren't wrong with me before I went on active duty. It's just that simple. I actually am physically and mentally not the same anymore. Why am I not acknowledging that? Because and hard charging soldiers don't do that. Well, I do. And I'm making it okay for other people to do it. So if I got to be the voice in the face of it for it to actually be okay for officers to do it, then so be it. Enlisted people have no problem doing it. Officers are, well, I was in charge and I don't want to appear to be weak. It's not weak. It's like apologizing. When you're wrong, that makes you strong. To say, I harmed you, I did something wrong, I apologize. You all did things and things happened to me that were not acceptable. And in the course of 5.5 years, that made me no longer feel safe to be a soldier. And I had to leave. So I had to decide, was I going to be alive, or was I going to try to keep going and pursuing things in one day? Because I was an MP. Y'all got to remember, we go to the range twice a year. Twice a year. Anything can happen, have an accidental discharge of a weapon. Especially when you deploy, you got missions at night. Don't nobody know. Friendly fire is what they call it, but ain't shit friendly about it. So I had to make a choice. Me or them. That's how it goes. And back then, if I had popped off, I might would have ended up in Leavenworth. Okay, so that's my story. That's my truth. Thank you all for allowing me the platform to be able to purge through that process. And, it will be what it will be. And I believe that it's the acceptance and admittance. And I will get on the other side of this, but it will not stop me from wiring new neural pathways and doing what I do on a daily basis, because that's just what makes people people. And it's okay to go back 25, 30, 40 years and get that shit and let it go. Drop it back off. Sometimes you have to, and if you grew up on a farm, Kevin, sometimes you got to cut a part of the root off of a tree in order for this. Just pruning. That's all it is. Ecclesiastes. It's a time for every season. And right now, 'tis the season to be telling the truth about what happened from 1996 to 2001. There you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do thank you for your time and being open to talking about your own mental obstacles as well, because this is a safe space and a platform where you get to become your best every single day so that you can go and make the best of the communities in which you reside and work in. All right. God willing, higher power in the universe, I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, same amazing face, different brain t-shirts. You all go off and have a great day. Adios.